This video is about how to deepen meditation, how to improve your focus in meditation. These are techniques that really work. The fifth technique is one that you will especially like. It's very interesting and a little bit esoteric. But to get it at the beginning, meditation is often praised for its ability to enhance focus, but getting started in that or leveling up your practice can really feel challenging. It's an uphill battle. So whether you're learning to meditate or looking to improve your skills, these steps and techniques will help you build a stronger and more focused mind. So the first thing that's really helpful is to set a goal to sharpen your focus. The next thing will be to embrace distractions. The third thing is to realize the distinction between active and passive meditation. The fourth is refocus meditation, which I think you're really going to like. It's very interesting. And the fifth is the importance of losing focus. And the sixth is that consistency builds mastery. So number one, set a goal to sharpen your focus. Before you sit down to meditate, set a clear goal. What do you want to accomplish in your meditation? In general, it's a good idea to know where you're headed in meditation. But in that specific session, what do you want to do? You might want to increase your focus by observing how long you can concentrate without distraction, without losing focus. This goal setting gives your practice direction and purpose. It helps you keep going. If you are close but you don't quite get there, you want to sustain a stable concentration for, say, 5 minutes or 108 breaths or something like that, and you get to 3.5 minutes, you might extend your session so that you can get there. So it gives you a motivation, a momentum. You're not watching the clock waiting for it to end. You're watching the clock afraid it'll end before you get where you're going, which is a kind of a nice problem to have. So create a baseline with that. That's important. Use a timer to measure how long you can stabilize your concentration before your mind wanders. Or if you're counting breaths, figure out how many breaths it roughly is before your mind loses concentration. Relate or commit to gradual improvement. Don't expect to suddenly be the world's best meditator. You're not going to be the Buddha tomorrow. It's going to take time. Meditation is a skill, and a lot of people underrate the challenge and difficulty of that skill. So with each session, aim to increase your focus by 3%, 5%, something like that. Incremental progress leads to very strong gains over time. And that will eventually lead to a stabilization of meditation if that's what you're aiming for, and a deepening of meditation if you can work through some metrics to do that. Number 2 is embrace distractions. Instead of meditating in perfect silence, meditating in environments where distractions are present, especially when your mind develops the ability to stabilize, when you can stay on the object, and it's not that hard, when it's in fact pleasurable, when you like it. So it might feel counterintuitive to meditate in busy environments, but learning to focus amid things that are trying to interrupt you proves that you can stay centered even when life is chaotic. So it's helpful off the cushion. As they say, if you can practice even when distracted, your mind is well trained. That's one of the Lojong slogans. The third point is active versus passive meditation. Meditation is an active process. This is one of the big mistakes people make when talking about meditation. They think that it's somehow just a passive sort of sitting there, just being. In a sense it is, but being is an active thing. It is a verb after all. So approach meditation with engagement and intentionality rather than just passivity. Don't just hope something happens. Make it happen. Concentrating on an object like the breath or some specific point or a statue of the Buddha, whatever, it requires effort. This active focus strengthens those mental muscles. It makes them stronger. It increases your ability to concentrate. And that's sort of the key point of meditation, the core point. It's not why you're doing it ultimately. Maybe it is, but often people have greater goals than that. They want to become better people, more wise, more compassionate. Maybe they want to become more focused in business or whatever. But the main tool in meditation is to increase your ability to focus, your ability to sustain a focus, especially on an object that's difficult to figure out or to keep in mind, but you develop your ability to maintain that, and that is the power of mind. And with that, you can do almost anything you want, anything that can be accomplished through the mind. Fourth point is called refocus meditation. This is a powerful technique to kind of get a leap in your meditation. So it's talking about incremental gains. This one can give you a little bigger increment, let's say. So refocus meditation is where you concentrate on a point about 1 inch inside your forehead, right here, about 1 inch inside. It's often also called the third eye. So how you practice it is to, get a good, comfortable sit, and then focus on this point for the technique actually says for 12 to 13 minutes. Probably the exact length doesn't really matter, but over 10 minutes. So when your mind drifts, gently bring it back to this focal point, to this chakra. It's a sort of subsidiary chakra. So the practice trains your brain to recover focus quickly. Over time, your ability to concentrate will improve dramatically. And there's something a little important about this point, a little powerful, that can help you. So I don't want to say anything more about it, but just try it and see what happens. Point number 5 is the importance of losing focus. Oddly enough, losing focus is kind of essential. Each time you notice your mind wandering and return to your chosen object of meditation, you're strengthening your focus. If it just kind of stayed there, barely a little bit, you wouldn't be lifting the weight, right? You'd just be sitting there holding it. So you lose concentration and you bring it back. Then you're lifting the weight. You're exercising the muscles. So it's good to lose concentration and then to strengthen it back up again, to increase it. So you choose a simple, neutral object, something that's not overly engaging or too boring, right? So the act of losing focus and recovering is how that growth and that strength happens. So think of it like weightlifting. Each rep builds strength. Number 6, consistency builds mastery. A single session of 15 to 20 minutes can make a noticeable difference, but consistency is key. Over time, these techniques will train your mind to focus effortlessly, not just in meditation, but in your everyday life. Focusing isn't just a skill, it's a superpower in today's world of distractions. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your ability to focus improve, not just for the next session, but for your entire lifetime.